Things could be about to go from bad to colossally worse for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, which I'm gonna say kind of pains me a little bit, if I'm completely honest. I am playing right now when today there should have been a maintenance to address an issue that people are having. Now, this is actually an issue for the first time I can say I have not had. In case you don't know, games need to make money. And I do not like battle passes. I don't know who keeps telling people that I like battle passes. And I can agree that most people do not like battle passes, but this, my friends, is a battle pass for your racing game in how you get the RX. We already know about this. But you might not know this was going to be their method of monetization for the game. I think it's pretty safe to assume, although even if the game sold pretty well, because apparently the, server issue, the budget to fix the game, for example, adding the new location, which they're planning to add, well, before the end of the year, that was obviously going to be funded by the success of the game and also monetization, because there are going to be 2 free solar passes, and then they're going to start to monetize them. There's actually going to be 50 levels on each, and that is the method that they chose to monetize this game. And I can tell you straight away, it's probably not going to be as successful as they they had hoped. I don't think most people have the capacity for another battle pass. Okay, but that's not what I'm talking about. Things could be getting worse very quickly. Wait. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I gotta take this. Hello? New Turtle Beach headset. The Stealth 700 is here. Turtle Beach may have created their best headset yet. The headset has a couple of features which I really want to basically exist on every headset to ever exist. Yes, they did send me all the colors. You actually get 2 of their transmitters, which they're calling their crossplay transmitters, which means I can press a button, that's this one right here, and literally switch between 2 devices, which is super useful as someone that jumps between PC and PlayStation or Xbox all the time. But in my opinion, they've done something even better than that. No, you can use 2 devices at the same time. So I can play whatever games I want on my console and then connect my phone, and all of a sudden I can play music, listen to Discord. It doesn't even have to be your phone either. You can connect any Bluetooth device and play both at the same time. Why isn't every headset like this? If you're wondering where the microphone is, it's right here, and you can flip it down or flip it back up again to mute it and not use it. It's pretty nice because, for example, I use this mic, and so you can't even tell it's there. Look at that. And it's also super comfortable with its memory foam cushions, which means long play sessions super easy. So there you go, Stealth 700. You make sure you use code Black Panther over on Turtle Beach's website to get a 10% discount. They come in a few variations and colors. These white ones are kind of stunning. I'm having trouble deciding a favorite here. Oh. Check the link down below in the description if you're interested in the headset. On the Overtake website, they have said that Big Ben might sell Nacon. Now, I would say this would be an absolutely terrible thing, but at the same time, I don't know who's to blame for the state of this game. We'll talk more about that soon. But KT Racing or Kiloton, the developer, may actually be considering selling the publisher. Now, this would be devastating for a lot of the situation. I mean, Test Drive is owned by the publisher. Realistically, Big Ben owns the IP, and KT Racing is realistically their biggest developer they've got. We're not gonna get any higher than this. This means Test Drive will either probably be sold at some point in the future, maybe to another publisher, or this is it. This is frustrating for a couple of reasons. As colossally terrible as this video was, this guy right here is basically the creator of Genuine Test Drive. He's in on it. He's in KT Racing. He might follow Test Drive, but he basically created Test Drive. He was the creative on that game, on that series. While the management was certainly counting on Test Drive to reevaluate Nacon and help it refinance its convertible bond maturing February 2026, the game's launch failures will force it to consider an option that was previously excluded: the sale of its entire stake in Nacon, currently valued at 50 million euro. Damn. It's pretty safe to say that Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown probably wouldn't survive past that point. Again, the publisher may keep the servers online, but you've seen the amount of work and time they're having to put into this game because it's still not working properly. People cannot get into the battle pass since the launch of the season, which has been, what, a week or 2 now, which is going to be the main way they monetize the game beyond launch, which, as you probably have seen from the recommendations and Steam reviews and things like that, this game is being hammered with its star rating. By the way, if you ever wonder how I'm waving my hand around, I'm usually pressing the button like this. Can you drive like this? I know I get those stupid comments, but like, I'm crashing everywhere. People are like, oh my God, he's driving with one hand. Shut the freak up. Again, I could sit here and dissect everything as to why this is a terrible, terrible system to try and monetize your game. But the likelihood now is that they cannot build anything different. The only other option would be to charge DLC cards and stuff like that. And to be honest, I think that would be more successful than this. They should just charge for the cards. Quite frankly, at this point, they need to start making some money. Otherwise, Test Drive is not going to get those updates that we expect. And they'll never have an offline mode. And we'll basically, the game will shut down at some point, and that will be it. All of our money that, you know, the people that didn't refund will cease to exist. So I wanted to get to the bottom of a couple of major failings with this game. This video, I did a full breakdown of it on my actual second channel here. You can see that. I'll link this at the end again, because there are so many just insane points that I just can't comprehend that they're talking about. But let's watch this section, which in my opinion is the most insane to think about, considering the direction they've taken the game. They've taken it in a MMO PvP experience, and this is what they had to say.
I know there's also an issue related to cross-region play that keeps coming up. If you have a friend in Canada and you live in Europe and want to play together, right now that's not possible.
That's not possible. So, the way they've created and crafted this experience to make it a proper MMO RPG experience, is the RPG, whatever. The whole reason we don't have properties, according to them, is because of these social spaces. You arrive at these spaces, you disable the chat because people are going to scream at you any second. And the idea is every time you play the game, you will see people running around, interacting, talking, you can challenge them, blah, 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 blah. Where are the people? Can I ask? Where is anyone right now? They want the social experience to be so paramount that everywhere you go, you will interact with people all the time. So we should lock it so that you have to play online at all. You cannot play offline at all. Okay, cool. That means everyone's going to be playing online. We've got the most amount of players. Okay, so then let's make it crossplay, right? No. We got the bottom. No crossplay. That's the second person that's just run past two people. Okay, fine, whatever. Surely, you know, the amount of regions that they've been playing. No cross region either. That means at one time you will only ever see people on your own platform in your region. Okay, fine. Then we can deal with that. That's just the spaces, right? No. How you say the race? I can't do the French. I'm sorry. No, every single element, including the races, will only allow you to play with your region and your platform. If you're on PC right now, that's what, 500 players? 500 players with 300 events? Well, I wonder why I never find anyone to play with. I have raced with someone once. My point here is, friends, what the f***? The reasoning behind this is ultimately because they don't want people to lag in PvP races. So make it so only PvP is region locked. What do you mean? I don't care if people lag through the lobby.
For example, there will be a problem if you're playing in Europe against Americans.
Yeah.
If you find yourself in the same race, you can be sure that you'll lag.
Oh no.
And the racing conditions will be absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it's so terrible on Gran Turismo 7. To be fair, like I don't want to argue here because open world versus not, like I get it. But surely they could have genuinely just made it so that the competitive races, online competitive races, are the only ones where it is region locked. You should be able to bypass it with a menu, and I shouldn't have to use a VPN to play with my friend in America. It makes no sense. You can't push this as social, and then thin it out as many layers as possible to the point where I never see anybody, ever. Do you remember that this game was actually going to be on Nintendo Switch? I always wonder what that would have looked like, because the optimization on the PC version, the PlayStation version, PS5 struggles to run this at 1080p. The Switch needs surely like 720p to look decent. It's a big screen portable. I kind of assume it would look something like this. Hey guys, I got the new Test Drive on Switch. What do you think of this gameplay? I think I crashed. I can't quite tell. It was 1 frame long. So here we are overall. I think it's time for a reflection for KT Racing. I think it's time for a reflection from Nacon. I think it's time for reflection from Big Ben. Because my God, this has been a whole roller coaster. And again, I want to say the reason I'm so frustrated is because it does have its moments. And the site was there. They could have got this right, but they focused too much on one wrong kind of element. And that is trying to focus on not only the PvP element of the game, but also just competitive racing in general. That was never the focus of Test Drive. We've discussed this a lot, and again, by the way, it was a mistranslation in the video. They said the main mode of playing this game was racing, which is true. That's just factual. It is how you progress in Test Drive and has always been. But it's definitely, I'd say, a time for reflection from myself as well, because obviously I was excited about this game. I'm excited about most racing games that come out that aren't, you know, track races. I'm more of an arcade racer type of guy, you know. And ultimately, they used my likeness to advertise the game. And honestly, that event was a little crazy. They didn't really have a solid plan as to what they do, in case you hadn't realized. It's pretty thrown together ultimately. There's a thing that when you're a YouTuber, you're in the process of recording, hell, sometimes even like an hour into the recording, sometimes you just get a feeling. You get a feeling that this is not right. And so a lot of videos end up scrapped in that way, and they don't ever see the light of day. It comes with just time. I've been doing this for many years, but that session was kind of one of those situations. Man, there's so many stories I could tell about it, but ultimately, they didn't really have a direction. And the fact that the cars were rubber banding when they had 5 players on the servers, it was just pretty funny. The problem is, I saw the game in quite an early stage in where it wasn't fully optimized. It was running at 30, but they rendered at 25, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's all those situations, but I think I need to be a bit more careful in general. That's been made pretty obvious. I think, obviously, it's my duty to kind of pick these things out, but as soon as I found out that it was always online, I obviously let you guys know. And that was the first major red flag. And the beta situation was a lot worse. And I think I definitely need to pick up on these things a little bit sooner. The private beta situation was not used correctly anyway, because the servers at launch were worse than the beta, which makes no sense whatsoever. But it's worth noting, I didn't get any money from the publisher or anything. I know there's been a couple of racing YouTubers that have been paid to do videos on it, but the funny thing is, they were able to be completely transparent and say, oh yeah, the game still needs work, a lot of work. Which is kind of hilarious, but again, I think that's the fundamental issue here, is that the game is, on the surface, pretty decent. That's something I had with 2015, is the handling was actually really good when you hadn't upgraded the cars. When you upgrade the cars, it's a whole different story. It's hard to really get a full picture of the game, but again, I'm just like you. I see game, I get excited, I hear Test Drive is returning, and they've got some form of property, and they've got some social spaces. I'm intrigued, I'm listening, I'm ready. I think the state of something is pretty telling when PlayStation offers refunds, because PlayStation, the refund situation, I think it's illegal. I don't think PlayStation refund systems are legal, because once you download the game, you can no longer refund it, blah, 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 blah. So I'm doing to reflect to myself and how I can make sure that situations like this, I don't just constantly push these things. I get excited about games. I don't know what I can tell you, but I'm figuring it out, you know? And the biggest thing is just probably don't pre-order games. Pre-ordering is terrible. Wait for me to do videos on it, because as soon as we found out it was always online, which was months and months before launch, it was pretty waving the flag there a little bit more. Anyway, we'll see what happens with Test Drive Solar Crown. I'm gonna keep my eye on it, but that's it for now. Until the next big thing of where they maybe get sold or something. I don't know. Check out the long video here.